Good morning, everybody. Welcome. My name is Nico, and we're going to be trading a bit today. Um, it's Friday, guys. It's been a good 2 weeks. First things first, I'm going to be doing a live stream on Pocket Options YouTube channel later today. You guys can find them there. Just do a search for @PocketOption. Um, the video is already scheduled, so if you head over there now, you can just leave a tab open, and then it'll start playing when the stream begins. Time will be at 1 o'clock UTC +2, so that's just over 2 hours from now. So yeah, guys, it's going to be good. We're going to be some things that we're going to be discussing today will be kind of familiar to you guys. We're also going to look at some stuff that we haven't discussed on my channel yet. It's live, so you guys can ask questions while we're trading. We're going to be taking trades, doing some explanations as well. So it's a good opportunity to get those questions in, get them answered immediately. So yeah, I really hope to see you guys there. I think it's going to be good. Secondly, I got a question this morning, and so I'm just want to cover that quickly, and then we'll continue on to the charts. Okay. So Mornay sent me a screenshot of this trade, and his question was, when this happens, do I enter when the RSI does the RSI need to break through the 50 line in order for me to take this divergence trade? How would I know when to enter? So let me explain something quick. In my opinion, this is not a divergence trade. The stochastic oscillator did not make a new low. Okay, so the high was the same value as the previous high. Although price did make a higher high, we didn't see divergence on the oscillator, so I would not have taken that trade. Secondly, the trade, I enter divergence trades when they form. So once my stochastic on the second high or the second low, but once that stochastic turns down and is open, that's when I take my trade. I do not take into account the RSI middle line at all when I do divergence trades. Okay, so once it forms, maybe we'll get an example today of maybe we'll get a nice divergence setup and we can actually have a look at that. But I do not trade with I do not take into account the RSI middle line. I would, however, if this was switched about, if price made a double top and the oscillator made a lower high in this case, that's a trade I would actually take. But my oscillator making a double top, to me personally, is irrelevant. I don't count that as divergence or valid trades that I will take. Okay, so Mornay, I hope that answers your question. Maybe if we're lucky, we're going to get a good divergence setup, and we can look at the timing. When I get in, and we can look at the RSI position and why I don't really take it into account or into consideration. But we'll have to see. If we get lucky, we can actually do that. Okay, so guys, last thing I want to ask you guys, if you haven't already and you're watching this video and you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do. You guys will notice that my videos are not monetized, so there's no ads. And if we can get this channel to grow, we can reach more people and teach more people to actually trade properly. There's a lot of videos out there that's teaching people horrible habits, promising quick money and whatnot, and it doesn't work that way. That's not what trading is like. Sometimes trading is very slow. Sometimes it's very fast. We'll have good days, bad days, etc., etc. Losing is part of trading, and like I said, if we can grow the channel a bit, we can reach more people, and that would really be awesome to get people to get proper trading in the proper way. Okay, let's head on over to the charts and we'll see what today is like. Okay, we are on Euro USD. We're a bit late today. We're almost 2 hours into the UK session. Um, and the market has been kind of slow. I did watch a few. I unfortunately was held up with something else for a bit, but market's been slow-ish. I did have a look at a few of the trades, um, but I'm pretty sure we can do one or two trades at least. We'll get it one or two or three, maybe more trades in um, during this video, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. We've been in a very strong trend here, very strong downwards move on the 10 seconds. Let's see what the 1 minute looks like. Yeah, very strong move. ADX is still very high on the 1 minute. It is slowing down though, so we got to be a bit cautious cautious of taking buy trades. But we're going to stick to our strategies. We will wait. We know our strategies are sometimes slow, sometimes fast. Um, Overall, the last 2 weeks has been really good. And we've just been using the three strategies these past 2 weeks, because I really wanted people to see that it's not the same every day. Some days trading is super quick, and then some days trading is really slow, and there is nothing we can do about that. But starting next week, I will be looking at introducing a couple of more strategies that we can use as a supplement to these. All right, so they will be additional. I will not stop using the three strategies we've been using the past 2 weeks. These are my core strategies, and I always use them. Anything else is kind of like icing on the cake. But we're gonna stick with these three. But I will introduce a few more strategies that the same as these will all work on multiple time frames. You can use this on, if you want to trade 1 minute charts, you can actually use it on a 1 minute chart. If you want to do 5 minute charts, you can actually use that. Obviously, you will adjust your expiry time. You will not take a 1 minute trade off a 5 minute chart ever, right? But you can use this, and you can also use this in forex. If you're trading forex, and you need, you can apply this in forex as well. A couple of different ways of managing your trade after that, after taking entries, but the entry conditions for these strategies are the same. Doesn't matter what time frame you're looking at. So if you're looking at a 15-minute chart, for example, you can take a buy and a sell in forex, and just keep moving your stop losses, follow the trade, manage it and such. But yeah, this works on multiple time frames, which is one of the reasons it's actually pretty good. Also, one of the hallmarks of a good strategy. If you have a good strategy, it will work on any time frame, because the market is doesn't matter what the time frame is, what time frame you're looking at. The market conditions will always be the same. And when I'm saying it will always be the same, I mean it doesn't necessarily mean that the 1 minute and the 5 minute conditions will be the same. What it means is that if you have a strategy and you test it on a 1 minute chart, for example, and it's profitable, and you can see that it's got decent win rates, it will have a decent win rate on a 5 minute chart, and it will have a decent win rate on the 1 hour chart. The only difference is obviously the higher your time frame, the longer it's going to take you to get valid entries. But it will work on multiple time frames. Okay, it looks like we're turning upwards here a bit. Okay, so we've got a higher low from the previous low, a higher high, higher low, higher high. So, and as we know, a bullish trend, for example, will be higher highs and higher lows, and a bearish trend needs to make lower highs and lower lows. So technically, we are in an upwards trend, and it's like getting established. So I might look at a trade here. If the RSI gets rejected, if it gets rejected, might look at a buy trade here. It doesn't look like it is. This is way too far now, so no trade. I won't take this now, because this is not a rejection. Sometimes, if I can use this example, well, it's not a great example, but I like, yeah, sometimes it will move just through, but come back down immediately. I will consider that as as taking a trade. But this move here is not. This is like normal flow, if I could put it like that. Oh man, we did have some divergence here, bullish divergence. I missed that. I was focused on the RSI. Okay, so we missed a trade here. This is bullish, hidden bullish divergence. It was a beautiful one actually. I should have take a trade here. It was right on the support, on the moving average, which serves as support. And this happens. It sucks, but it happens. And you're going to miss some trades sometimes. Sometimes you'll miss entries, and we're not going to freak out. We're not going to get in late, because if I got in here at this area here, this would not have been within the parameters of my trading strategy. So I'm not getting in late. I missed it. It happens. We just continued looking for entries. We'll still get a few. I think it's only been 10 minutes. Only been 10 minutes? Really? We got an entry already, so that's a good thing. It would have been a good trade. Would have been a really good trade. Even if I did take it here, I would have won it, but I will not, because this is way too late. This could have come back for a retest here. My trade was supposed to be, actually it was supposed to be on this candle. This was sometimes you're going to get divergence, and you're going to get by the time the stochastic crosses here, you're going to get a massive candle. Often it's best to stay out of it. But this was divergence for sure. But it moves, sometimes it moves quickly and you actually just miss it. Let's see, we've got to push upwards. We've got the ADX starting to climb, so it does look like we're gaining some momentum. Maybe we're going to see a pullback, a retest here of these moving averages. And if it coincides with the RSI tapping the middle line here, we might actually get a trade. This is too far away for at the moment, though. This is too far away. Alternatively, we could get a very decent, if it does come down like really hard, or 2 or 3 candles, big red candles, we could get a decent DI spike, DI minus spike there, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So there's no way we're going to get hidden divergence here, because this is way too low. If it was like this, I could maybe get ready for, if it was at maybe in this area here, the stochastic, I could maybe get ready for some hidden divergence, but this is way too low. That's on 3%. So it's way too close. If it does come down even, it's way too close to register as divergence for me. So we're not going to get a divergence setup here, or hidden divergence at least. If we do get a nice spike downwards, and then a big red candle, big green candle, it's going to be a tap and a rejection, although this has been flatlining. I don't like it. I like it when it comes down. You know, something like this. I like it when it behaves like this and just comes down. But just flirting with the lines there, not too fond of it. We're gonna give it a minute or two and see what happens. Although I suspect we're gonna see an upwards push still. Yeah, probably. Bit of indecision here at the moment. Let's see if it decides to go somewhere. And this is what trading consists of most of the time. A lot of waiting, a lot of patience, and waiting for good setups. Nothing else you can do about that. And I've seen so many people in the past think if they haven't taken a trade for 5 minutes, they're doing something wrong or their strategy stopped working. We had one entry, it's 15 minutes now. So we had one entry that I missed, but it wasn't proper. It wasn't the best of examples anyway, but I had one that I missed. Um, but at no point in time will I think that my strategy is maybe not working or stopped working. Um, what I'm doing at the moment is the correct way of doing things. We're waiting patiently to get entries that falls within the parameters of our strategy, and that's it. We're not going to do anything else. Um, a lot of the times it's just finger off the button. So yeah, we're gonna have that patience. It also depends on the time frame you're trading. If you're trading 1 minute, you're gonna get even fewer entries. That's the reason I like to trade 10-minute charts, because I get bored if I have to wait an hour for a trade entry. And if I trade on 1 minute candles, I might get on a good day I might get 3 entries an hour. And that's if it's a very good day. So 1 minute is, for me personally, is too slow. I don't have the patience to watch a 1 minute chart. I like watching 10 seconds. I get a bit more entries. So, but if you are comfortable with 1 minute charts, trade what you're comfortable with, right? So I know a lot of people who have told me, a lot of people in the past have told me that 10-second charts are way too quick, way too fast for them. And that's fine. That's 100% fine. Trade 1 minute if that's what you're comfortable with. Do what you are comfortable with. Oh, man, we do have some very faint divergence here. And it's right on a support line, but I don't know about this. I don't know about this. The movement's a bit off today. It really feels that way. And this is super faint, but it is valid divergence. Although it's faint, I don't like if it happens. This is basically what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles. So we had divergence on a 6 candle span. I don't like it when it's that tight. Although technically, this was a divergence trade. But the normal normal bullish divergence. So I was supposed to take a buy on that candle there when it pushed up, and my stochastic crossed back, even maybe there, but I don't like it. And again, I would much rather let the trade go than take something that I'm not comfortable with. I have no problem staying out of a trade if it's not a very good, if it's not a setup that's nice to me. That's a proper, decent, clear setup. I will very easily stay out of a trade. It's not that's not something that bothers me, and it shouldn't bother you to let trades go. If it bothers you, that's something you need to look at, because that means you've got you suffering a little bit of some FOMO, and it's bad. If you freak out because you lost it or missed the trade, it's a bad sign, and you need to work on that definitely. But if not, that's fine. That's good. That's how it should be. We're gonna miss trades. I miss quite a lot of trades actually. When I'm trading during the day, quite often I'll be watching the chart. And I'll watch it for 20 minutes and I don't get an entry. I'll get up and go fetch some water. By the time I came back, there would have been a beautiful divergence setup or a beautiful DI spike. And no, I just shake my head and carry on. It happens. And even sometimes like the divergence trade I missed earlier, it happens. This isn't Pokemon. There's no gotta catch them all. We need to just need to be patient. And I think this is where a lot of traders fall out of the bus. I have to be honest. I think this is one of the biggest problems that keeps people from being profitable. It's rushing. especially on options. On options, you get so used to, if you have a lucky run or you have a good day, you have a couple of trades and that are mostly profitable, and you see a nice growth. You see nice growth in your balance, and you start to want every day to be like that. It's simply not going to be. Um, Patience really is a massive, patience and discipline is a massive, massive hindrance for most people. Um, Even if you, it doesn't matter if you have a great strategy, if you do not have the discipline to stay within the parameters of that strategy, and if you not have the patience to wait for good entries from that strategy, it's going to be useless in your hands. Um, so, yeah, I really do think this is one of the things that most of the people, and this is also, again, this is also the reason I'm making these videos. It will be so easy for me to make a video during the day and then just cut a couple of winning trades, um, make a 30 stitch a 30-minute video at the end of the day where I show you guys 20 winning trades maybe. um, it's going to be of no use, right? So yes, it might explain good examples of entry conditions for a strategy, absolutely, but it's not, and this is the reason I hate these videos that's 5 minutes long and tell you can go from $100 to $10,000 in 5 minutes or in 10 minutes of stuff. I hate that because it's not how trading is. That's not the way it is. And that's why the videos I do, we uncut, we don't, it's unedited. I don't touch them because I want people to see that they are losses. And some days we wait half an hour to get an entry. And some days we get an entry every 5 or 10 minutes. And that's that's exactly what has happened over the past 2 weeks is we had losses. We had days where we got one entry every 30 minutes or one entry an hour. We had days where we had a lot of entries. That's how trading is. So like we're in a really strong push again, but it's like a trickle push. We're moving upwards, but it's not really a moving. It's not really flowing, if that makes sense. So we're going to struggle to find entries for a while, I think. Um, might get a divergence set up here. So let's see. That's our level. Um, I hope I can get this before it, if it forms. I hope I do it before it does form. Where are we? There. Okay, so there's the last low of my stochastic. That's the price. So as long as price doesn't go past this level here, it will be bullish divergence, hidden bullish divergence. And if my oscillator turns up now, because this is already confirmed. So if my oscillator turns up, notice that I've also got the divergence on the RSI as well. Oscillator is turning, I'm going to take my buy. So this is a hidden divergence. We've got, it's confirmed. It doesn't always have to go way to the bottom. Because oftentimes you will get an example where it just like hits the middle line or middle area, not middle line, middle area. But this is still a hidden divergence, right? Price made a higher low, oscillator made a lower low. That's hidden bullish divergence. So we take it, and you'll see that I waited. My trade is in on that candle there. Waited until my stochastic crossed before I got in. So the cross of the stochastic shows me that the divergence has formed. I don't like taking it. You'll actually notice that that candle there technically did cross, but I also know that in the quite often it will happen that you get a cross, but the next candle is a big red candle, and then the stochastic opens again because it's calculated on an average. So I wait just for the stochastic to confirm that it is crossed. And then I take my trade. It was a good trade. Was a bit too close to for comfort though. But again, the trade was within the parameters of our strategy. I didn't think about it. I took it when I identified the setup, and it paid off. Let's see if we find something more, something else. I would not consider. Well, actually, what that is. Technically, it is divergence. Well, technically not, because we had it's kind of a retrace here. You can see this red candle there is lower than all four of those previous candles. So it's technically, this is the retrace. So this is the last high, and this is the current high. Okay, so if I look at those peaks there, that's valid divergence, but we did have a push up here as well. So this is the peak real. Actually, I've had this question quite a few times. I've seen a lot of people look for. Let's see if I can get an example. Okay, so people have often asked me about, like, would this be an example of divergence? Because we have price going lower there. Let's use blue. Okay, so we had price make a lower high here, but my oscillator from that point to that point made a higher high. And the answer is no. The reason for that is we have a peak in the middle as well. We do have this area. And the only valid measure is from that peak to that peak, and then from there to there. That is how you keep rolling checking your highs. Okay, we're not checking multiple highs. We basically just keep rolling it. Technically, that would be it there. We just keep rolling to the peaks. And like I said, that was technically a correction. So now we're like that, and now we're there. Okay, so this is if you have a trend line like this and you just keep rolling it to that every high, it's a good way of practicing. No, wait, what's going on here? It's a good way of practicing, but yeah, this is not yet formed, so I can't really put this there, right? So, but divergence is only between the last two either peaks or troughs. Okay, so this is a trough. The low is actually called a trough. That's what the correct term is. So we've got peaks and troughs, and it's peak to peak or trough to trough. But we don't take like a peak, 5 peaks, well, 5 highs back and the current high and compare them, because you're going to start finding divergence. If you do that, you're going to start finding, like, for example, that's actually a crappy example. If we do that, we're going to start finding a bunch of divergences, and you're going to end up burning, and you're not going to understand why. Let's move that. Because like this here, quite often you will get that price is following the peaks and stuff, but then your oscillator will make a new low. It didn't here, but it does happen often. So a lot of people will say, but between those peaks, for example, that peak there and that peak there, the oscillator was lower here, but it's not divergence, because you can only validly measure those two peaks, or those two peaks. It's always peak to peak. Technically, that would be it. That would be it. And you just keep climbing like this. I hope that makes sense. I really hope I didn't miss a trade. We've got some. No, not bullish. No. Almost thought for a second we had some bullish divergence, but its price is lower than this drop here, and the oscillator as well. So it's not. We might actually get an RSI rejection here. Let's be ready. See if it does happen. It's tapping the RSI, so what we do need is for it to push upwards now. And if it doesn't, this is not going to be a valid trade for us. Okay, and then this happens, and it's way too hard to push. So no trade. I would have gotten in way too high to my liking. I like to get in close. That's the reason the first, or actually the second parameter of the RSI strat is on or near a moving average, because I like to get in on or near the moving averages. That's where I like to take my trades. I do not like to take them in areas like this. Okay, damn it, that spike screwed. We had for a second there a double top with divergence confirmed. It's not anymore. I was hoping it would play out to demonstrate, to like actually expand on Mornay's question, where I said I would rather take a double top on price and divergence on an oscillator than take a double top on the oscillator and divergence on price. I am going to take a sell here because we did have divergence here, and well, it might have been rush, this might have been a rush trade. We did have some valid divergence, but I'm also now only now seeing that we are really actually quite pushing hard in this move. Let's see if it plays out. It's valid. It formed. I was on that candle, so my stochastic already crossed. Unfortunately, it crossed up again. We'll see what happens. I'm also going to be ready while I'm in this trade. I'm also going to be ready to, if we get a spike down with an RSI tap, to take a buy. We do need it to come down a bit and then push back up. So there's the tap. We're really close to the moving average. If this rejects now on this candle, or maybe the next one, we'll okay, so this didn't play out. We're out of the area of rejection now. Okay, divergence trade was good. Okay, so this, we will not get an RSI setup anymore in this case here. It's come down way too hard. What's the time? Okay. So yeah, now we wait for the next entry. If my moving averages were not, if price wasn't in between these two moving averages, if maybe they were a bit lower, I would have considered taking a buy on this DI spike here. But we are kind of in the middle of nowhere land, no man's land at the moment. This could go either way. This could go either way. Actually, this does not really belong there. We just used that to spot some divergence earlier, so that's not a valid trend line. So this is not, even though I had a fairly decent DI spike there on the ADX, I'm not taking this because it's, remember what I said is, for the ADX spikes, we also like to be on support or on resistance. Okay, so this is like way in between two support or two areas of support. It's not on or near any support or resistance at the moment. So I'm going to stay out of them. If we had the same spike and price just stopped above this, just here, and started pushing back, no doubt in my mind, I would take that. But I'm staying out because this is, what you call it, this is way too far. It broke the first support and then stopped midway. And if it does that, especially if you'll notice that it's basically flat from this. We had this drop and price was really moving in a very, very tight range here, and it's still in between the two supports. This could go anyway. Anyway, we can see a massive green candle or a massive red candle. No idea. There's no way of telling. And if there's nothing is showing me what is nothing is showing me what is happening at the moment. There we go. And taking a trade in this area would be a prediction, not following what the price is doing. If I'm following what price is doing, I will not trade because there's no movement. Okay, so we had the breakthrough. Let's see what's going to happen. Once you wrap your head around the fact that we cannot predict the market and everything we do is simply following what the market is showing us is happening, you can start exploring a bunch of different strategies. If you understand that concept, you will look differently at strategies and start to understand. Obviously, whatever strategy you are using, you have to understand the indicators you are using. It's super important. If you do not understand what every indicator that's on your chart is actually showing you, you can't really use it. Um, because what we are doing is we're extrapolating data from um, price movement and from our oscillators to determine entry points. And you cannot you cannot extrapolate data from something you don't understand. That's impossible. It's you can't do that. Um, so you have to put in the time to go study each indicator that you are using for whatever strategy it is you're using. It doesn't matter which strategy it is. Um, just take the time to really understand. Um, like let's, for example, if you guys want to like decide you're going to try and use the three strategies I am using here, and you want to use these, and you're going to basically put the same stuff on your chart that I've got here. You still need to go and understand what this is showing you. Why am I leaving some of the trades? And why am I taking some of the trades? Why do I leave setups that's not that good? Um, if I take the RSI, for example, most people don't know what it actually shows you. Okay, and interestingly enough, we're going to discuss in depth the RSI today on Pocket Options channel. The whole stream is going to be focused around the RSI. So yeah, I encourage you guys just pop in there, but you need to understand it. You really, really do. And if you don't understand it, you simply can't use it. It's really that simple. If you don't understand something, don't use it, or you keep studying it until you do. But anyway, where are we? We're on 36 minutes. I suspect I'm gonna be a shorter video today. I have a meeting soon, so yeah, to have a little bit of finalization for the stream as well. Let's see if we can find one more entry though. At least get 3 trades in. We're on 37 minutes. So if we do get a nice trade, we would have hit the average that we do. It's about one trade every 10 minutes, about one entry every 10 minutes. That's about the normal um, rate, or rate at which I trade on a 10-second chart using these three setups. That's about the normal, the usual rate. I get about one entry every 10 minutes. And I'm happy with that because I have a very decent win rate if I'm patient. And as I said earlier, I would much rather take 5 trades and win 8 of them. Oh, sorry. 5 trades and win 4 of them, then take 10 trades but only win 6 of them. Or take 15 trades and win 8 or 9 of them. It's not about volume, it's about win rate. It will always be about win rate. Trade volume is irrelevant. If your win rate isn't good, volume is not going to help you. Okay, let's see what's happening. We got the moving average crossing downwards, the 50 through the 100, showing us that we might be changing direction. We haven't broken the 200 yet. So quite often what happens is the 200 is the strongest one. So quite often you'll see it do this and then just reject and go back up. So we're not going to make any decisions right this moment. We're not going to consider this as a downwards trade either, a bearish trade. Because it's not established. We've only had 2 highs. It's not an established trend, so we're not going to use the RSI at the moment. It's not established, and it is on very decent support. So just going to wait and see what happens. What I would like to see right now, though, is a decent break and a retest. Right, so if we get the break and price comes down, let's draw this in. And another one. Gotta delete that one. Change this first. Okay, so if we see a movement, something like this. And just roughly, okay, just the shape. We're not gonna look at the values right now. We're just looking at the shape. If we see a movement like this, and I should maybe actually get one again like this. So I know that quite often when price breaks through support, we see a pattern like this, comes back for a retest, and then continues downwards. So we are seeing it right now, exactly what's happening. And what I was hoping for is when this does happen, because we are breaking through the support, and if there's a retest, I was hoping that the RSI will tap the middle line while it was in this area. That's a trade I would take, right? Because it's a retest and it's showing me it's failing the retest. The area that was a support area now becomes a resistance area, and it comes back for a retest. It tests the new resistance. It fails, so it's likely to continue downwards. So we did get this setup. This will happen quite often. It won't look like exactly like the way I drew it. As you can see here, it was a lot smaller than the lines I put in, but it does happen quite often. Not always. So it's always a question of, use your own, what's the word, discrepancy. No, not discrepancy. Use your own discrepancy, I think. No, I've gone a blank now. But, have a look at what's happening. And this was would have been a good trade or a good entry for me if my RSI tapped there. But I wasn't inside the parameters. The parameters of my strategy was not filled or fulfilled. Right, or the conditions was not fulfilled for me to have taken a sell here. So it was no trade. Okay, you're never gonna just take a trade if it comes up, assume it's gonna reject and just take a sell there. Quite often it will do exactly the opposite and just keep running upwards. So again, we're not predicting. We're just looking for areas where the market tells us, look, this is happening. Go for it. You can take a trade here, and if it's in line with what the market is showing us, there's a good chance it's going to be a profitable trade. So yeah, that's what we do. 45 minutes. Okay, so I don't think we're going to get a decent setup real soon. Might be about another 10 minutes or so, but yeah, I'm gonna cut. This is where I'm gonna stop today's video, guys. We had two good trades. It is a slowish day. It's not that, but it's not a bad slow. It's not slow in the sense that we're not getting trades. It's just a bit slower than usual. It's still a good day. We've had some good trades, and the market is actually giving us nice entries. We just need to be patient for it. But this is where I'm going to cut the video. I've got the stream in less than 2 hours. So there's some stuff that needs to be looked at and such. So yeah, I hope to see all of you in the stream. Thank you for watching. As always, trade happy, trade safe, trade smart. Have a great weekend. Those of you that doesn't trade OTC, kind of like me, although I will make a video on OTC this weekend, but enjoy the weekend, get some relaxation time in, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.